What's going on, YouTubers? Today we're going to run a test on some CPUs that I have that came out of laptops and some off some towers. You know, these are pretty much the lower grade of the processors versus the ceramics. I do have the ceramics, but I prefer to use the hydrochloric acid and the nitric acid for those. It'll melt the whole thing. But let's see what'll work on these things. These small processors are the AMDs, and these are like the P4s, you know, the lesser grade of the processors. More of the fiberglass made nowadays, and these do have like a little bit of gold on these pins. But I just wanted to try to process using the muriatic acid. They do have some that lessens the smell, and just some regular household bleach. So what I'm gonna do is pour in to my vial. It'll be about a couple of milliliters of the muriatic acid. And before you do this, please exercise safety. Always wear your safety equipment, because this stuff is highly oxidized, and once we mix the two, it becomes a poison, a very toxic cloud. So let's exercise safety. Remember that. All right. You can see the smoke coming from the muriatic acid. Now once I drop the bleach in, which we don't need that much of, now it's becoming very toxic. Now I'm going to take this into a ventilated area and set her down for about an hour or two. We'll let it sit, and we'll come back and check on the results. Been about an hour, and as you can see, let me kind of glare at the light. A lot of the pins and solder melted off of the pins, and the water or the acid is yellow, so which is a good sign. So what I'm gonna do is just pour it out into this and refilter it back in with a filter. So I won't have to deal with all of the clunks. But we got to use distilled water when we're doing this process. Okay, now get rid of these plastic gloves. Put on some Super Duty ones. Alright. Now, what I did was I filtered it through. It's about 4 filters. So filtered it all through there and sprayed it good. So that's out the way. Now the next step is to come with a substitute for it called Stump Out. can purchase this for about $2 or $3, or $2 to $5 at any hardware store. Now we're gonna slowly put this inside of here. It's gonna be a chemical reaction, so try not to put too much, but make sure you have a nice little backup cylinder to catch any liquid. Should be an instant effect. Stir it up. Now when you add the stuff out, slowly it should start to turn it into a solid. And this could take a little while. But it's got to darken up. As you can see what's happening now. Starting to darken more. It's going to turn into a mud. Whatever gold is inside of this bowl, it'll go to the bottom, and the liquids will come to the top. It'll just be mud. Liquid gold mud, basically they call it. And the stuff is toxic. Just add it until you keep getting some fizz in there. I'm not adding much because the cylinder, it can bubble all the way up over the cylinder. So you just add a little bit at a time. And once you're done feeding it, let it sit for a while. It may take 15-30 minutes, an hour, or longer. Just let it all settle to the bottom. It's still taking, still fizzing, but it turned into mud pretty quick. You can see at the bottom here. Let's see. See that bottom? It's all gold mud down there. That's what we want, and floating inside of it as well. All of that is going to settle, and it's going to be clear at the top with mud at the bottom. But as you see, the fizz is still showing that it's a lot of gold to be made in this acid. So that's pretty much good news. It's going to make more mud. Alright, I'm going to let that settle for about, maybe I'll just give it about an hour, maybe 30 minutes until an hour, then we'll go on to the next phase.